What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing? Something worth celebrating today. So, um, not all doom and gloom in the world, you know? Figured we'd do this stream, something worth celebrating. Nebraska had a ID age verification law get blocked. Hope you guys are doing good. What's up, everybody? So yes, obviously yesterday in the House, the Kids Act got passed in the House, but it still has to get passed in the Senate. But, I know a lot of people were feeling pretty doom and gloom, feeling like this whole battle is hopeless, for ID verification. But just wanted to show you guys the details of what happened here, because it is something worth celebrating, and it is obviously still worth fighting, because this law, from what I understand, was already signed into law, and it was like already passed, I believe. But it was blocked now because they ended up facing several lawsuits for this, right? So this was supposed to be a social media ban, or social media digital ID related law in Nebraska, one of the states in the United States. So yeah, what's up, everybody? What's up, Antagonistic? How are you guys doing? We'll get into this in a few minutes. Just want to wait for some people to come in. Appreciate you guys. What's up, Lynn? What's up, Kepler? Hope you guys are good. So just to clarify, this has nothing to do with the law that was passed in the House yesterday. This is a completely different thing. But again, just wanted to illustrate the fact that it is still worth fighting against these laws, because some of them are getting blocked. What's up, Blue? Thank you for the 10 gifted, my man. Appreciate you. Like we always do. You guys know what emote to spam if you're a channel member. So yeah. All right. So on Saturday, the U.S. District Court for the District of Nebraska granted NetChoice's request for a preliminary injunction halting enforcement of the age verification and parental consent provisions of LB 383 days before they were set to take effect on July 1st. So again, I believe this was something that had already been set in stone, already been passed. And so the court held that forcing Nebraskans to surrender a digital ID to access lawful speech is a content-based restriction that fails the First Amendment. So I love that this court decided that, right? Because that allows other courts to go ahead and use the First Amendment as well as a reference point on why these awful laws shouldn't be passed, right? Thank you for the $2, Wubsy. Aside from yesterday, how are you doing? I'm good. Yesterday I watched Obsession. Very, very unsettling movie, and I thought it was going to be overrated, but no, it was actually pretty good. If you are a horror movie fan, I would recommend it. If you are easily scared, stay away. What's up, Ryan? Thank you for the $2. So is it temporary victory or permanent? I don't know if it's permanent per se, but it's definitely a law that was supposed to go into effect that has now been blocked. So because they faced several lawsuits that resulted in what's called them having to get this law blocked. I don't know if I don't want to say it's permanent just in case it ends up getting changed in the future, but yeah. Some golden apples. What's up, South Park fan? How you doing? So as this decision illustrates, the chorus against digital ID mandates grows louder every day. There is no constitutional justification for the government to block access to fully protected speech. This was said by the director of the NetChoice Litigation Center. But yeah, pretty cool. This is a win for every Nebraskan who values their right to speak and read online without first handing the government a digital ID. I would say this is a win for everybody in the world, right? Even if you don't live in the state of Nebraska, the fact that these laws are being challenged and, in this case, blocked, it's a really good thing, right? So we are confident the court will strike down these provisions permanently as this case proceeds. Okay, well, there's the answer to your question. So for now, it is temporary, but they plan on doing this permanently. What's called Nebraska families deserve real solutions, not an unconstitutional law that protects no one. Very well said. Totally agree. And so remember, there's laws that they're trying to pass in all these different states and countries, right? Now, if this gets blocked in any state or any country, it is worth celebrating, because then other states who are against this, or other countries that are against this, can use a case like this as framework in court, if that makes sense. I'm not some sort of legal expert or whatever, but that's something that I have seen happen before, right? Thank you for the $2, Dorothy. Good news. But be wary of the nationwide law. Yeah, of course. We already did a whole stream on it yesterday. Well, of course, we're worried about it, but at the same time, it is still worth celebrating when we can get some type of victory against ID age verification, digital ID laws. So, yeah, I'll donate more on my next paycheck. It's okay, antagonistic. Nobody has to donate. I really appreciate it, but you guys don't have to donate. Just leave a like on the stream and subscribe. That already means a lot to me. But yeah, so a little bit more details about this. So a federal judge blocked this Nebraska social media age verification law from going into effect in July. And this is something that, like I said, is definitely worth celebrating because it was Net Choice sued Nebraska last month over the state's Parental Rights in Social Media Act. So those are like the people that like Net Choice has been a group that has done very good work against ID age verification. You know, unfortunately, I do have to, you know, let you guys know that Net Choice is still to this day partnered with Meta, which does not make any sense to me, but I still got to give them their credit where it's due. You know, they still went out of their way to go ahead and sue the state and get this law blocked. So it's really a good thing. And they've been doing this with many other states as well. Right. So I really hope that these laws just keep continuously getting blocked. And yeah, people should use a VPN. That doesn't change the fact that people should be able to browse the internet without providing. But yep, agreed, Alex. Totally agree. So yeah, I mean, these are the things that I hope will become more commonplace as time goes on. What's called Net Choice specifically, like I said, you know, despite my grievances with them still being partnered with Meta, they have done a fantastic job in blocking a lot of these laws. So worth celebrating, man. The world ain't all doom and gloom, you know. Yeah, there's always bots in a lot of live streams, but specifically mine because there's some UTTP thumbsuckers that don't like me very much, but that's okay. Good news is Colorado fall for the age verification. I don't know what you're saying, dude. They're not even good at rage bidding. Yeah, I mean they're not gonna get a reaction out of me. They're trying to upset me, but I just don't give a shit. But you know, in oral and written arguments, attorneys defending Nebraska argued that the law scope fell outside of First Amendment scrutiny since it only targets a minor's ability to create an account and does not directly regulate the speech on the platform. That is so dumb. That the fact that they go ahead try to argue that ID age verification falls outside of the First Amendment, or like it doesn't apply to the First Amendment. It's like, really? Yeah. Insane argument to say that, hey, forcing everybody to have an ID on social media, that's, you know, that doesn't violate your First Amendment, right? What? How? Thank you, Kitty. Thank you to 2D. Appreciate it. All right. Instagram does ask IDs for a teen account with parents' permission for certain features. Yeah. Instagram has age verification. Sure. Yeah, it's kind of common thing, Blue. It's all right though. We'll play whack-a-mole. Appreciate you, Blue. What about the Fourth Amendment? Yeah. I mean, as you'll slowly see, you know, there's a lot of politicians out there that don't give a shit about the Constitution. I'm hinting at something that happened today that I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Why hasn't Penguin Zero talked more on this topic surrounding age verification laws? I don't know, but I agree that he should. He definitely talked about it at the beginning when it happened with YouTube. The YouTube age verification thing, he did make a video about that. But yeah, I agree. He definitely should be talking about this. I would appreciate if he did. Thank you, RZ Red. I really appreciate the $5. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you very much. But yeah, honestly, anyone who supports this Kids Act, I'm going against him. I'm not going to vote for them, and I might vote as a person that's not for the Kids Act. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that everyone should say that to the politicians as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, not only First Amendment, but the Fourth Amendment too. Yeah, true. These whole age verification ones still need to be passed for hopefully blocked in the US. Hope it's blocked. Are you talking about the Kids Act? No, that one passed in the House, but we're waiting to see what will happen in the Senate. Which, by the way, guys, does anybody have they announced a date on when the Senate will debate that or vote for that? I don't know yet. But yeah, I would love a date. While Nebraska blocking is a good thing, it's not enough. We need to. Yep, agreed. No one's saying it's enough. I'm just saying it's worth celebrating a victory when we get one. Hope the Senate blocks a shitty act, bro. Yeah. I mean, the thing with the Senate is apparently the Senate wants a stricter version of the Kids Act, so they're going to reject this law because they want it to be written in a stricter way, which is obviously not good. But I mean, hopefully they just reject the law and they're not able to really get it back to the House again. Really hope that happens. But yeah, so again, these guys really try to argue that the Nebraska what's called social media law that they were trying to pass in Nebraska did not violate the First Amendment right of everybody in Nebraska by mandating IDs. And it's just like, the hell? How does that not violate the First Amendment right? You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody watching on Twitch as well. Thank you, Ink. Appreciate that. We have to double our efforts. Yeah, I mean, we definitely, had a big L yesterday with the Kids Act getting passed in the House. But once again, that's still something that we can fight. And also, we got to W the whole Nebraska thing. So that's good. Keep fighting the good fight, y'all. Hope everyone is well. Thank you. It's Nader. Appreciate the $5. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you. So just a little bit of a reminder for like how the map is looking. This is kind of like the map of the United States. Obviously, with all the other countries in the world, there's tons of age verification going on as well. But this is the updated map for ID age verification in the country. I'm probably going to struggle to find Nebraska in here because I'm stupid. I believe that's Nebraska right there. So they haven't, it says they have an active law in force. They might have an active law in terms of adult websites, but obviously this one with related to digital ID on social media has been blocked. So that's good. That is in fact Nebraska. Okay, just making sure. I'm very stupid, so you guys got to correct me on some things. But yeah, just making sure. Hey, thank you for the $10, Ryan. I appreciate it. Yeah, I noticed in Indiana, I had to do online ID made verification to try to access my own money That is ridiculous. I refuse to do so. At least in Michigan, I don't have to. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate it, Ryan. Yes, that is very ridiculous. And unfortunately, that is becoming a trend in the world right now, where you were having to provide your ID to use services that you used to just be able to use by putting in like a username and a password, whatever. But now it's turned into, provide an ID if you want to breathe. You know what I mean? So shout out to the judge as well, which I think they actually said his name in here somewhere. But yeah, shout out to the judge as well, because obviously the judge is the one who makes the judgment call on these types of things, right? Did you hear that ESA thinks that Minecraft servers are piracy? I did, yeah. So that was another big situation that I saw go down today. For those of you guys that don't know, I believe there was like a hearing on whether or not Minecraft servers are piracy. I mean, it's insanity, man. I'm telling you, the entire world's governments right now are on a mission right now to try to make it so nobody can have fun at all. I mean, you can't use social media, you can't play video games, you can't talk to people on video games, and it's just like, wow. I mean, it's crazy. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I know there are people in the chat who are saying like, oh, but the Kids Act still passed, and it's like, okay, well, I will still take a W where I can. You know what I mean? Even if it's just in one state, even if it's not completely related to the Kids Act or global age verification or whatever, at least the laws are getting blocked somewhere, which shows that they have a higher chance to get blocked in other places too, because those other court cases can use this case as reference, if that makes sense. Again, I'm not a legal expert or anything, but it's usually how court cases work. They will reference other previous cases and make decisions based on that, right? So Gerard, who I believe is he the lawyer of this case? Yeah. So the judge, sorry. He's the judge of this case, right? So he said, okay, I'll read this after the donation. Thank you, Spontaneous. Chris Carr is trying to overturn Georgia's block law. He will never learn. Yeah, anybody who's trying to enact ID age verification is full of crap. Thank you so much, Spontaneous, for the $5. Appreciate it. Again, you guys don't have to donate. I really appreciate it, though. Thank you guys so much. So the judge of the case said, and I quote, by requiring age verification and parental consent to create an account, LB 383 has a direct impact on several protected First Amendment activities and materials. NetChoice has indicated account creation is necessary before a user can fully engage in the full range of expressive activity available on social media platforms. It is expressive communicative conduct inherent to a social media platform that triggers the law's restrictions, thereby implicating the First Amendment rights of both NetChoice members and their users. So they were invoking the First Amendment here, and that is good, because obviously everybody has a right to make a social media account and say what they want to say. What's up, Void? Thank you so much for another $5, Ryan. I really appreciate the donations, guys. Thank you guys so much. Again, not necessary, but very appreciated. Yeah, I thought I was going crazy. I had to access a government website, submit my ID and a face scan to access my own money. That is stupid and invasive. What, like, if you don't mind sharing, Ryan, what platform did that happen on, by the way? Was that like a bank, or was that like some sort of fund you got going on? Thank you so much, Ryan. I really appreciate the $5. But yeah. So Gerard also had to decide what level of scrutiny applied to his analysis. Laws that regulate First Amendment conduct are typically presumed unconstitutional and can only be justified if they survive strict scrutiny by the government, proving that the law is narrowly tailored to serve compelling state interests. Thank you so much for the 5, Duck but dumb. Appreciate you, dude. They just want our faces in a database so they can sell for more money. This is correct. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So this is considered a theory, but in my opinion, this is just fact. The reason why all of this is happening right now, this global push for ID age verification, is because AI companies need to train their data off of some type of biometric data, whether it's a face, whether it's, videos or whatever, pictures. So these things are happening so the AI companies can train their data, get better, and like the data is essentially being sold to them. I mean, this is, again, people might call this a tinfoil thing, but this is what I believe, and I'm sure a lot of you guys believe it as well. Thank you, Spontaneous, for another $2. Appreciate it, guys. You guys don't have to donate. I truly appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Our government equals boomers. Agreed. You guys know I go on this rant almost every stream, but there should be an age maximum to be in politics. I would say something like 65. If you're older than 65, you should not be in politics, in my opinion. What's up, Amy? How are you doing? But give them all your money. No, it's okay, guys. If you guys want to do me a favor, just leave a like and subscribe. I would appreciate that. Thank you guys very much. Everybody calls your state senators to urge them to say no to the Kids Act. Yep, agreed. Hey, that was great content, Deep Humor. Keep up the good work. Thank you, dude. I don't think my content is great, but I appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, so now they're getting to the part about social media being bad for kids and minors, as they always say. In this case, the compelling state interest is mitigating the mental health impacts of social media access on minors. Gerard found that research and evidence supports Nebraska's contention that increased social media use has caused a mental health crisis in Nebraska and other states, right? I have not seen the data on this, right? But let's just, for argument's sake, say that is true. Why would you then mandate as a government what kids can do instead of the parents or guardians? Remember when parents and guardians used to do their jobs? Seems like that was back in the 1940s, but I don't know. I mean, I wish that could be a thing now. I mean, I don't know why the government is always trying to interfere. And all these parents out there, parents and guardians that are like middle-aged nowadays, they just blindly want the government to do this. It's crazy. Attorneys defending Nebraska's law focus on the addictive nature of, quote, algorithmic personalized feeds and the impact of those algorithms on minors. Yeah. So, I mean, again, it just goes down to the fact that they don't want people to have a voice, and they also don't want people to have fun, right? Because they're also trying to infiltrate video games as well. This is something that I have made a few videos on, but ID age verification is also going ahead and being in video games as well. So if I just look up video game age verification, I mean, obviously we know Roblox has it, GTA is going to be having it, PlayStation as a collective has it, Minecraft has it in the UK, I believe. Yeah, there's plenty of video games that either already have ID age verification or will, right? Thank you, Darby. I appreciate that. So that's another, point is they really just don't want people to have fun. They don't want people to play video games or talk to each other on video games. They don't want people to communicate in general on social media. And the EU has already taken the first step of trying to control everybody's speech by creating an actual social media only for people who use IDs. Did you guys know that? There's a social media that they created called W Social, which can only be accessed if you are using, if you are giving an ID. And that's crazy. Thank you so much for another $2, Ryan. Appreciate it. Yeah, this happened at a bank credit union in Indiana. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Ryan. Thank you, Carbon Monkey, for the $10. Make sure to support your base creators and spread the word of this bullshit. Thank you so much, Carbon Monkey. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much, Body4GD. Appreciate that. I'm so sorry. I don't know what currency that is. But thank you for the $500 dollars of currency. We need to stop hating Gen Alpha that grows makes that law. Did you know the UK government made that law because they wanted kids to touch grass? It's that stupid. Well, if that was the case, though, wouldn't they encourage parents to take away the phones and from their kids as opposed to trying to make it so everybody has to use an ID? Because that is not going to stop the kids from using social media. That's going to stop everybody from using social media, even adults, right? Because not people don't want to hand over an ID. But if somebody could educate me on what type of currency that is, please do so. I'm sorry, I'm very stupid. But thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Yeah. So the Nebraska social media law is they're going to be trying to permanently block it right now. They've been able to temporarily block it for now. What's up, Light Spider? So that choice has been doing great work. I always give them their credit. I just wish that they wouldn't partner with Meta. Okay. Wouldn't be here if you're stupid. That's okay. I'm just a realist. Argentina pesos. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I can't donate. I'm broke. Nobody has to donate. I really appreciate it, guys. You guys, again, just you guys show me your beautiful faces and just leave a like on the video. That's good enough for me, you know. And by show me your beautiful faces, I mean I want everybody to hand me an ID right now. Oh man, the times we're living in. Anyway, so what's it called? The judge preliminarily blocked the provisions which are due to take effect on July 1st, but kept in place others, including a requirement that platforms must make available to parents a log of a minor user's activity. All right. Thank you, Miss Day. Appreciate that. Similar measures intended to protect children's online safety have been adopted in several states. Federal appeals court recently allowed California's law to go into effect, while another federal judge permanently enjoined Arkansas laws. Thank you so much, Blue, for another 5 gifted. That's 15 from a man, Blue. Appreciate it. For all the channel members, you guys got access to the Blue emote. Thank you so much, Blue. You're the man. According to Google, that Argentinian pesos was 34 cents. That's okay. I mean, the fact that anybody is donating their hard-earned money means the world to me. You know what I mean? That's people work hard for their money, so that's a big deal to me, you know. The 8th Circuit elected in May to hear Arkansas's challenges to its injunctions together. In March, the 11th Circuit held oral arguments over social media statutes from Florida and Georgia together. Nebraska didn't immediately respond to a request for comment on whether they would appeal this ruling. I'm going to assume that they would appeal this ruling because every state and country seems hell-bent on trying to harvest all of our data. But hopefully they don't, and they just accept the L. What's up, Zach? How are you doing? So sorry for anybody whose messages I've missed. Try my best, but you know, I'm old and, you know, don't have the best eyesight. Planning on using Linux and I get a PC. Yeah, that seems to be the best course of action nowadays. So the law likely has constitutional applicants, Gerard said, as it was intended to reduce minors' access to inappropriate material. But at this stage of the proceedings, it's disparate, I don't know how to say that. It's disparate treatment of various types of speech triggers strict scrutiny, which the state likely won't be able to meet. Thank you, Miss Day. I appreciate that. What's up, Billy? This is not about the Kids Act, guys. This is about Nebraska law. But again, a win's a win, so I'll take it. Gerard said that the statute, LB 383, wasn't narrowly tailored to address algorithmic personalized feeds or other social media harms. He said Nebraska appears to contend that social media platforms writ large are causing endemic mental health problems, which was something, again, we addressed earlier. Then why don't parents and guardians take the phones away from their kids as opposed to handing their kids an iPad so they can use it for an hour? Not even an hour, 10 hours. But yeah. Thank you, K-pop lover. Appreciate that. Yeah, my man Goku can handle this, dude. Yeah, this is, again, just to clarify, guys, like I said in the description, this is not about the Kids Act. This is about a different digital ID law that was essentially passed in Nebraska that has now been blocked through a lawsuit. But again, remember, we need to take the W's when we can get them, right? Any win against digital ID is a win for all of us. You know what I mean? So even if intermediate scrutiny applied, LB 3383 burdens substantially more speech than necessary to fulfill the government's goals. The legislator could have focused on the harmful contract terms or addictive features, but LB 383 doesn't do that. So I'm going to hope that means the judge is against ID verification. But yeah. Only company that has never approved this trash was made for kids. Exactly the type of age verification disease needs to require. But yeah, shout out to Net Choice. I mean, they do their thing. Like I always tell you, man, for the most part, I am in favor of Net Choice and everything that they do. Just one thing that bothers me is this right here. It doesn't make any sense. Thank you for the 5, Linky. Appreciate that. What did I miss? Did we just get a W? Yes, there was a ID age verification law in Nebraska that got blocked. So a win's a win, man. I will always take it. Thank you so much for the 5, Linky. Really appreciate it. So yeah, a quote from the director of Net Choice Litigation: "As this decision illustrates, the course against digital ID mandates grows louder every day, and they can't block access to fully protected speech." Thank you for the 2, Sir Clink a lot. I appreciate your effort for this fight. First time donate. Thank you so much, Sir Clink. You don't have to donate, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. What do you think of Reddit? Decent source of news, I guess. Very toxic though. But you could use that exact same argument with Twitter. I think Twitter's more toxic than Reddit. That's just my opinion. But again, I'll flash this up on screen every now and then. But this is kind of like the updated list of like which states in the United States either have active laws enacted but not yet effective, bill currently pending, tried and failed, or no legislation. You gonna be watching Long Legs? I haven't watched it. I'm not even really a big horror movie consumer, Cyborg. I just had to go watch Obsession because obviously it's the talk of the town nowadays, you know. But I think that movie was not overrated. I think it actually delivered. It is very creepy and unsettling. But yeah, looks like Colorado's the only one that is in the purple at the moment. Gonna flex being the only purple state, yeah. But for most states in the country, they have some type of ID age verification. What do you think of Reddit's age verification? I've already done several videos on it. If you look up Reddit age verification on the channel, they 3 months ago, their CEO said that they essentially want Face IDs. Then at first they were saying that they weren't going to do it, and then they completely caved, which seems to be a common thing. It seems like 4chan and Kiwi Farms, despite being overall degenerate websites, are the only websites that actually are willing to fight this till the end. You know what I mean? And I got to give credit to Firefox too. They also are fighting against this as well. Thank you for the 10 again, Karma Monkey. Really, you don't have to donate, man, but I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. MA needs to get updated. We have an age verification considered, but Senate shut it down. Originally, they just wanted to ban cell phones in classes. Okay. Good to know. Thank you for letting me know. That's good. That's awesome. Trump should ban it completely. I mean, I agree, but as we've discussed on the channel, he seems to be for it, according to the White House's plan for AI age verification. So, very unfortunate, but yeah, seems to be the case. If you want to know more, watch this video. Thank you for the 20, Ryan. Appreciate you, big dog. Yeah, I've been using Linux for the past 15 plus years on all devices except for my cell phones. Definitely going to keep it that way. I'm never getting an iPhone because they require facial recognition and ID verification at the moment. I don't blame you for that one. So, thank you so much, Ryan, for the 20. Let's get some W's for him. Really appreciate it. But yeah, according to the White House and their statements, it seems like Mr. Commander-in-Chief is for it as well, which speaks volumes. Has Brave said anything on age verification? Yes, but I believe it was a while ago. We can look that up right now. Has Brave spoken on age verification? I remember reading them post something a while back. Said that they will not implement age verification. Let's see if I can find an actual article instead of this AI crap. I remember that they made a dedicated post to it. Oh God, I really don't want it. Okay, here you go. The limits of zero knowledge for age verification. Age verification is increasingly positioned as a prerequisite for accessing online services. That their deployment, blah, 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 remains fragile. Here we examine these limits by highlighting failures in existing systems. So I think they were trying to argue against age verification in like a systematic way, like in terms of its enforcement. But to summarize, what it should be saying is ID age verification is an attempt at mass surveillance and trying to stop people from being anonymous on the internet. It's fucked up and it shouldn't happen. That's what this should have been, you know, but maybe they were speaking to some technological jargon that I don't know. Thank you for the 10, Linky. I really appreciate it. In my opinion, I don't care if the government has my info. They already have it, just how it would be. I care more about companies holding my data getting hacked and that info falling into criminal hands. Yes, and you have a very valid reason to have that fear because, again, just look up the words data breach or data leak on my channel, and you will find plenty of data leaks and breaches that have happened over the last 6 months or so. Most of them having to do with IDs specifically getting leaked. So you're well within your rights to be concerned about that. Really appreciate the 10, Linky. Thank you so much. But yeah, once again, I mean, you know, this is for one specific state, but I think we should take the W when we can, because again, other states and other countries will look at this court case and be like, you know what? Yeah, they're right. This is a violation of the First Amendment, specifically in the United States. And that will result in some states being a little bit more hesitant on enacting these laws. But yeah, this is a bit of a bare minimum win, but at this point we take those. Exactly. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I mean, yes, the Kids Act got passed in the House, still waiting in the Senate, but when any ID age verification law is getting blocked, that is good news, and we should celebrate it. What's up, Angel? How you doing? Has my data been leaked? I didn't agree to that. Yeah, I leaked your data, Blue. You've been doxxed. All right. I think last year, a judge in Georgia blocked the age verification for social media. I think I might have made a video on that, Mario. Let me check. I've been talking about this stuff for a while. I kind of forget some things. Okay, so no, I didn't. But I've made videos about age verification laws getting blocked. For example, there was one in Texas that got blocked, Louisiana. So this is something that has happened in multiple states. You know, there have been certain ID age verification laws that get blocked, and each time it happens, it's worth celebrating. I've been doxxed. Yeah, my bad, Blue. My bad. Everybody, Blue's real name is Blue. Yeah, sorry, I got to do it to you. Blue is actually from Blue's Clues. Yeah, you've been doxxed. Sorry. Thank you for the $2, GD. Really appreciate it. Age verification is dangerous. Yep, 100%. 100% very dangerous, specifically because of all the data leaks that have happened. I mean, this is one I reference quite frequently, but remember that there was recently a data leak of 3 million IDs specifically in the state of Texas, and that one didn't even have anything to do with social media. This is prior to ID age verification being required for social media and adult websites in certain states and countries. Imagine how bad the data leak will be after. Imagine the data leaks that would happen after people have IDs on social media. France, their government ID database, ANTS, recently got hacked. France has a population of, from what I remember, about 65 million people. 19 million people got their IDs compromised. So we are talking almost a third of the entire country of France. And once again, remember that one, France is doing a social media ban for kids under 15. And two, that was before the ban for the kids under 15. That is happening on their own government ID portal. So imagine how flimsy the protections will be for the social medias. Holy shit. That's crazy. Look at Discord, man. A couple million IDs leaked. Yeah. And that is, remember, Discord actually disputes that, Game Demigod. Discord actually says that it was only 70,000 IDs, but the hackers themselves came out and said, actually, it was 2 million. So, like, not only do these guys end up getting breached after saying, trust us, guys, we're going to secure your data and you don't have to worry about it getting leaked, they also lie about it later. I don't trust anything that Discord says. I mean, if they say that the 70,000 IDs got leaked, I'm going to assume it was 10 times more than that, maybe 100 times more than that, you know? So, yeah. At this point, age verification is just asking for a massive leak in data. I agree, Callie. And that makes you think, right? Is this all being done intentionally? So this data can actually be leaked intentionally so all the AI companies can train their models off of it? Again, it sounds like some tinfoil stuff, but I mean, when you really think about it, doesn't seem that far-fetched, because currently we see a global push in the world right now from virtually every single country either already having ID age verification or attempting to implement it. All right. Thank you so much for the $5, Tom. Appreciate it. Wait, what age verification law got blocked? I'm confused. The Nebraska social media ID age verification law has been partially blocked. Nebraska is one of the states in the United States. They had a ID age verification law for social media, but they got sued by a few organizations, one of them being NetChoice, and they managed to block this law temporarily. So it is still a win, and it is still something worth celebrating because, as I said earlier, anytime any ID age verification law gets blocked, I don't care where it is, I don't care if it's in Antarctica, it's worth celebrating because it allows future countries and states that are trying to battle this out in court to use that court case as a reference to block future ID age verification laws. I don't know if that makes sense. Again, just want to clarify if it isn't already obvious enough, but my dumbass is not any type of legal expert or anything like that. I'm just operating based on common sense, you know? Only if I was living in a state that don't do age verification because the darn mountains of West Virginia failed me. Yeah, it seems like almost every state has failed their citizens because, again, the vast majority of the states in the country right now have some sort of ID age verification. So pretty unfortunate, but something that we can try to combat for sure. Thank you for another 5, Tom. Really, really appreciate it, dude. I just heard Kids Act got just passed representatives. Is there still hope? Of course, yeah, of course there's always hope. It still has to go through the Senate, which it's actually getting a little bit of contention from. And it's still, even after that, it still has to get signed into law as well by the president, I believe, right? Again, I'm not some sort of legal expert, but I believe that's how it works. And anywhere during that process, it can get shut down or shut out. And even if it does get signed into law, like some of these laws have already been signed into law, it can also still get blocked or permanently banned as well, even after that, through some sort of lawsuit or whatever. So there are things that we can do either way, but obviously as the law progresses through the House, through the Senate, to the president or whatever, each step that it takes makes it harder to stop, if that makes sense, right? So ideally, we want to stop this law from even making it past the Senate. And that is why, you know, you should be contacting your senators, right? So, yeah. But at the same time, despite everything I just said, take the W while we got it, man. It's a W. Nebraska did their thing. So there is this website I did find for you guys. If anyone's interested, it's called freespeechcoalition.com or action.freespeechcoalition.com that tracks age verification bills across the country and just gives you a little bit of a status of it. So for example, the Kids Act that we were all talking about yesterday, it shows that it's passed the first committee and that it's now going to be considered in the Senate. So for anybody who's interested, you know, action.freespeechcoalition.com. You can just type it into Google as well. What's up, Ralph? How you doing? But yeah, this kind of just keeps track of things and we can kind of look through it together as well. So there's a New Jersey bill that was introduced. So it's just introduced right now. We'll see if it gets passed. But yeah, you guys want the link? Sure. 1 second. There you go. So if anybody wants to keep track of this, the bills that are going around the country, that is a website that you can do so. And they also have a little map over here. I think it slightly conflicts with the map that we've been using, but according to this map over here, so red is pending, blue is passed, gray is law passed before 2026, law passed before 2026 and pending bill, and bill failed. So over here, it shows some other states that have had failed bills, and these are states that have current ID age verification laws. And let's see if they have that updated with Nebraska. Yeah, they might need to update this one, unless Nebraska has some other type of, maybe Nebraska has a law for adult websites, because the vast majority of these, from what I understand, is currently for adult websites mainly, but they're trying to expand it to social media, which is what Nebraska was trying to do, right? So still worth taking a W, you know? You can have my IP address and credit card number. I'll press the link. Yeah, I'm trying to steal your data. Call me the government. But yeah, a little bit of a what's called juxtaposition between this one and the one that we usually look at, but you guys get the idea that most states in the country have ID age verification. So definitely something to look into and make sure that we're careful with. Thank you, Brustcole, for the £5. Is that pounds? Thank you. Really appreciate it. Call a general strike and protest saying I can't work or fulfill online orders because of age verification. Stop the country until they learn. Yeah, I mean, we are going to have to take some drastic measures for sure to make sure that we stop all this. But yeah. Why is New Jersey trying to pass so many age verification bills? I don't know, man. I have that same question for every state and country in the world. Seems like they're all trying to do it. I'm in Florida, but this never affects me. Yeah, there are countries where there is, ID age verification for the whole country, and people still use social media like nothing, like Australia, right? It's something that I've made some tweets about as well. Let's see if we can find the one for Australia. But Australia, like there was a study done that shows that the vast majority of people in Australia still use social media. I'll try to find it for you guys. Thank you so much again for the $5. Really appreciate it, Tom. It's crazy as hell the politicians are pushing this crap. Meanwhile, not one sentencing from the e-files dropping. Agreed. Mentioned this in other streams, but the reason I hesitated to say his name is I've heard you will get demonetized if you say his name. But you guys know what I mean when I say the e-files. Yeah, the government cares about absolutely everything except for exposing the entire e-files and actually punishing the people in them. But yeah, that's something we already knew. Let's see. Oh, here we go. No. Actually, no, this one is just the Australian social media or the Australian Prime Minister yapping. There's a specific post that was made about Australia. Yep. Okay, here you go. Found it. So, Australia social media ban. 85% of Australian under 16s are still using social media after the ban. Einstein files. Adults lost anonymity. Children have VPN surveillance infrastructure is built. If it's clear that bans don't work, why are so many countries pushing them right now? Thank you so much, Hi SN, for being a DH member for 17 months. Holy crap. Really appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. But yeah, so Australia already has an ID age verification ban for the whole country. And yet still, most kids under 16 are still using social media. So I mentioned this in a tweet and I said, this law achieved nothing but stripping everyone of their online privacy. VPN bans are next, which proves this is all just mass surveillance. That's all it is, So we're getting one step closer to full-blown internet licenses. Yeah, that's already becoming a thing. Thank you so much, Andrew, for becoming a DH Elite. Appreciate you, big dog. Let's get some W's for him. Thank you so much. Yeah, digital ID is already becoming a thing. That is something that has been very widely discussed as well. Specifically in the EU. The EU is really pushing out a digital ID system. So what they're trying to do is make it so you have one ID on your phone, and again, it's going to be in a database that has actually been hacked before, that you will use for everything. Like that ID is what you'll use for everything. Is like a one type of, what do they call it? A digital ID wallet, I believe it's called. And yeah, the idea of everybody's ID being in a database in the EU sounds absolutely terrifying. I mean, that sounds terrifying. So, well, pretty crazy stuff. Give your ID to breathe? Yeah, it seems like it, man. Seems like that's what's next, dude. House passes Kids Act. Child Safety Bill builds surveillance state. Who are you, Andrew? I like what you have to say. CEO of Gab AI. Okay, I don't really like that you're CEO of an AI company, but you know what? Let's give this a watch. Thank you for another 5, Tom. I really appreciate it. Tom, you don't have to donate, but I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. At least Starmer is gone, so whoop-de-doo. True. Yeah, he was. You could argue that Keir Starmer was the biggest individual pusher of ID age verification in the world. Already heard the AI voice? If it's an AI voice, we're not going to watch this shit, but let's just listen.
A child safety pitch just became a fight over...
Yeah, that's not a real voice. We condemn the Supreme Court's ruling. Oh, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I thought this was about the Kids Act. House passes the Kids Online Safety Act. Now heads to divided Senate. Tech reporter Ben breaks down what's missing from the bill and what's to come. Oh God, are you one of those people who's in favor of it? Okay, let's listen to this. Let's give this a shot.
Hey, it's Ben Brody. I'm a tech reporter here at Punchbowl News, and I'm getting out of the Capitol after just watching the House pass the KIDS Act, which is its package of protections for young people
Thank you. I
online,
love
on
Barack Obama. Appreciate it, dude.
social media, and AI. It's going to cause a lot of drama, but it was an interesting thing to watch pass. The centerpiece of the bill is
Please don't call it drama. Please don't call the backlash of mass surveillance laws drama. It's not fucking drama. We're all mad because you guys are trying to steal our ID. Don't minimize it by calling it drama.
to watch pass. The centerpiece of the bill is what's known as the Kids Online Safety Act. You might have heard about it. Congress has been working on it for a number of years, but it's got provisions on chatbots, video games, teen privacy, things like that. So what's all this debate going to be about? Well, there's a lot of desire to do stuff on kids protections right now on Congress generally, but it can also get tied up with AI, preemption, tough issues like that. When it comes to code,
Thank you so much for the $2, GD Gamer. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
a lot of the debate is about something called duty of
Drama, aka fight for our rights. Exactly. What a way to minimize it. Yeah, it's just some little drama. You mean everybody trying to make it so their IDs aren't in a database to eventually get leaked? Yeah, I don't think that's fucking drama, dude.
care. It's a legal provision that would make companies like Instagram and TikTok basically exercise reasonable care in designing their products to protect young people from harms like bullying or violence. So the version that the House just passed does not have the duty of care. That got a big bipartisan vote, but there was also a lot of opposition from across the spectrum. We think some of that is more libertarian, House Freedom Caucus types who have concern that some of the measures are a problem for free speech, and there's a lot of concern around that for the duty of care. But we think there are also a lot of progressives who are worried that it didn't go far enough to protect children.
Man, I really hate when they like try to assign like certain political parties or movements with like the libertarians believe this and the progressives believe this. No, everybody who cares about their digital ID rights and, you know, having privacy online, everybody hates this law, regardless of whether you're a Democrat, Republican, progressive, libertarian, or whatever. You know what I mean? They're trying to make it seem like this side believes this and this side believes that, when in reality, everyone is against these fucking laws except for people who don't know anything about the internet or people who are greedy and want to sell our information. Come on now. I wish I had money to give you, Deep, to thank you for giving this bad publicity it deserves. It's okay, man. If you could just leave a like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much. Nobody has to donate money.
Protect children from big tech. What's interesting is that the Senate has overwhelming support as well, 75-76 co-sponsors. They want the duty of care. They got a lot of backing from family and kids groups. So what happens now with all the stakes for AI and kids protections, it's going to be all the debate about it, and we're going to bring you every moment.
Well, cool, but don't call it fucking drama. It's not drama. This shit is some serious stuff. Big win for America's families. The House has passed the Kids Act, including my kids. Fucking Gus. Who are you, man? We're putting kids first by strengthening on. Yeah, okay. Is this the one? I think I already tweeted at this guy. Let me make sure I didn't. If not, I'm going to tweet at him right now. What was his name? Gus? Okay, we'll just look for the name Gus. I don't think I tweeted at him. And for those of you guys who missed yesterday's stream, which if you didn't, or if you did, then unfortunate, you missed out on a good time. But we were tweeting a bunch of these politicians that are in favor of ID age verification, kind of just telling them why I think they're stupid. Thank you so much, Hi, for the gifted membership. Really appreciate it, dude. And thank you for becoming a member or being a member for 17 months. Really appreciate you, dude. Thank you for helping keep this aware. And I'm happy that someone is always keeping this known on the internet. Thank you, Red Spy. I appreciate that. Red Spy in my base, dude. That's a classic TF2 video, man. I know all that. I'm cultured. But yeah, I don't think I've tweeted at this guy. All right, well, okay, so strengthening. Okay. Oh, okay. Hold on. Before we even tweet. Made with AI. Shows how much you care. You really care about this Kids Act getting passed because you want to empower parents, but you were so fucking lazy you couldn't even find an actual picture. You had to generate one with AI. You fucking lazy fuck. Okay, what's your name? Gus? All right, empower parents. Oh my God, this fucking guy. How are you empowering parents by taking away their ability to make decisions for their children? What are you yapping about? Fucking what are you talking about? In before blocked? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if I get blocked. The internet shouldn't be a pipeline to adult videos. A screen act is a step forward. Oh my god. Oh my god, you fucking people, dude. What a bum using AI. I mean, it just shows how little he actually cares, you know? Like, okay, you're excited about the Kids Act being passed because you think it's going to help kids and whatever. And so the first thing you do is you generate a slop image to illustrate your point when you could have easily just done this yourself. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of shows like that you don't give a fuck, really. Okay, so who's this person? Okay, before we tweet at them, let's hear what she has to say. I know it's not going to be smart.
The statistics are alarming. The average age of a child's first exposure to pornography is just 12 years old. And nearly 80% of America's children between 12 and 17 have already been exposed to it. Not only has the sexual...
I love how she didn't say where she got that study from or where, like, who conducted that study. What's up, Artsy?
Sexual content become intentionally easier to access, but it has also become increasingly violent and abusive, normalizing sexual assault, physical violence, and non-consensual acts for young, impressionable minds. The consequences are devastating.
The sources, I made it up. Yeah, the sources, trust me, bro. That's the source.
Research has linked early exposure to pornography with anxiety, addiction, depression, low self-esteem, body image disorders, and an increased likelihood that minors will engage in risky and harmful sexual behavior.
So what does you asking everybody for an ID, how is that supposed to help that? I mean, even if we were to agree that her statistics are correct, one, she didn't even say where she got the source from, which is hilarious, and two, so, okay, so therefore, we're going to make everybody hand over an ID so we can leak all of your data. How does mandating ID age verification and forcing everyone... Oh my god. Thank you so much for the one gifted. Appreciate you. Hi, SN. Once again, thank you so much for being a member for 17 months as well. Really appreciate you, big dog. Let's get some W's for him. How does mandating ID age verification and forcing everyone to submit their biometric data... So we'll say hand over their biometric data, protect kids? You guys don't know how data leaks in the internet in general works, and yet you try to make invasive ass laws for us to follow. Thank you, Nami. I appreciate that, dude. Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source? The source is, trust me, bro. Thank you, Nightwatch. Let me make sure I spell check this before you guys clown me again. With my fat ass fingers, I sometimes make typos. Trying to make basic ass laws for us to follow. Okay. Yeah, I think I spelled everything right. Sounds like an old substitute teacher. What's a wanting boot? Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that. Last night, I voted yes on the Kids Act. This already tells you what you need to know. Let's go. Did she have any good replies here? Stop supporting Troy. Okay, yeah, cool. All right, let's see what the replies are to Mr. Joe over here. Interested to know your thoughts on whether these safeguards and tools could be used improperly to engage in censorship. Using social media, warned by the dangers of social media. Okay. I mean, this idiot is part of the problem. This person is an absolute moron, part of the problem. This is bipartisan. Both political parties are doing it. Stop making it about one side or the other. Everybody who does this is an idiot. Stop making it about one side or the other, because then you create more division between our group. Our group should be people who care about privacy. You know what I mean? Fucking idiots that do that type of stuff. But anyways, back to Joe. I voted yes on the Kids Act for years. Knowing their platforms harm children and chosen engagement to profit over their safety. This bill is the first step towards holding the companies accountable. Oh, man. This bill delivers real safeguards. Yeah, because they're idiots. They're an idiot, Burning Frost. That's why. This bill, okay, safeguards, addictive design, protections from online predators and harmful content, and tools that put parents back in control. Parents back in control, huh? in what world is forcing everyone to hand over an ID putting parents back in control? It's like you say things and you don't realize how contradictory it is. Fucking people, man. And this is so bipartisan. Like that's what I wish people would understand. Like, do we need to go look at the numbers again? Like, we can go look at them again. It was let me go show you guys the numbers again on how the votes went down. See if I can find it right here. So this is how the voting went down for the Kids Act yesterday. And, you know, this is the voting. I mean, in fact, I mean, that person was trying to blame it on Democrats. It was actually more Republicans that voted for it. But regardless, it doesn't matter which side voted for it more or whatever. What matters is the fact that both sides, they can't agree on, you know, trying to fix world hunger or homelessness or world peace or anything like that. But you know, one thing they can agree on, both sides, stealing your data, stealing my data, making it so all of our data is on a database to get fucking leaked. So who gives a shit what side does what? You know what I mean? This is something that we should all be united against, regardless of whatever side we're on. So it really annoys me when people try to make it about, you know, one side or the other, like that person said, oh, fucking Democrats. Man, shut up, man. We need to all unite. This is more important than what side you're on politically. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad that a lot of you guys, like pretty much everybody in the chat, has a brain and you guys understand this. Really, I'm so proud of the community that we've managed to build, you know? A dumbass like me, like, I cannot believe how cool our community is and how smart you guys are. And I'm not trying to glaze you guys. I mean, it's just true. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people where I go read their chats and I'm seeing how stupid they are, like the chats are. And I'm just like, dude, oh my God, man. But we have such a smart group of people here. Actually, the dumbest person here is me. Thank you for the $1.50, Dance North. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. My point is that it's a bipartisan thing. So I hate when people try to make it about one or the other, you know. Both parties are in the wrong because I'm not going to hand over my ID. Exactly, Kyle. That's my point. Yep. So, yep. Love you too, Joe Mama. Joe Mama. Bills are named to deceive you. Kids act as a Trojan horse for internet censorship. Yep, agreed. Just crazy, man. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. Appreciate the $5 by DD. Thank you so much for the donation. In the end, parents will continue to give Gen Alpha iPads. Only this time they'll scan their ugly faces or give IDs before handing them to kids. Yeah, I really hate that type of parenting where it's like instead of making sure, you know, you watch what your kids do, you just hand them an iPad for 8 hours and that's how you raise them, quote unquote raise them. You don't raise them at all. And then the parents and guardians like put their hands in their face like, oh my God, how did my kid get exposed to all this bad stuff? Dude, they're on the iPad fucking 10 hours a day. Well, what do you think? You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank you, Sledger. Appreciate that. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Big Tech wrote the bill for online protection for children, so I voted no. Okay, well, we definitely got to hear him out after he said that. Okay.
Terrorist insurance.
This is about the Kids Act, right? Or is he about to start yapping about some other stuff? Okay.
Hey, everybody. Tim Burchett. 2 bills on the floor tonight. One was reauthorization of a terrorist insurance program. It's going to save about $1 billion. Here we go. Reduce the deficit by $1 billion. The other one's the Kids Act. Sounds great. Supposed to strengthen all this stuff on online protection for kids. But guess who wrote it? Big Tech. And guess what? They eliminated themselves from any liability. And guess what else? The state of Tennessee has some really tough laws because we've got a great legislature. And so they can't make laws tougher than what we just implemented.
Okay, I don't want to hear him anymore. So he's one of the people who's advocating that the Kids Act wasn't strict enough. So he's a jackass, is what I'm saying. Man, so many politicians are doing this, man. It's crazy. Yesterday, as we discovered, Thomas Massey and AOC are 2 politicians that are very, very against the Kids Act. one on the Republican side, one on the Democratic side. So big shout out to both of them for actually caring about ID age verification. But yeah, thank you so much for the 5, Demon. Appreciate it. We're lucky that the UK and Australia did this first. Not only can we use them as proof that this is easily abusable, but also fails to protect kids. I agree. But unfortunately, everybody's following suit and still implementing those laws in inspiration from Australia and the UK, which really sucks. The hell AOC doesn't want it? Yeah, we looked into that in yesterday's stream. She is very against it because of, privacy reasons. And Thomas Massey, who is on the Republican side, is also very against it. So those are 2 politicians that seem to actually give a shit. So shout out to them. Seems very rare. Despite no American voter on either side wanting this kind of legislation still being forced through, I've done loads of research. Is there any way I can send you info or come for a meeting in DC? Yeah, I don't think they're going to say yes to that, but I would imagine. Okay, well, what else we got here? Kids Act passed the U.S. House of Representatives. Oh my God, I can't speak. U.S. House of Representatives. Contact your U.S. senator and tell them you do not want to support verifying your age to use the internet. Yeah, this is actually a website that actually tells you who the senators are in your area. I'll post this here as well for anybody who wants to contact their peoples. But yeah, that is a website where you can use to contact your senators. And obviously the bill is going into the Senate next, so those are the ones that we need to go ahead and contact. So just keeping that in mind. Kids Act, Trojan horse for digital ID and mass surveillance. Okay, I like this. Redacted news. Huh? Okay. Yeah, all right. 4 minutes. Okay, we'll give this a watch. So yeah, like I said, Thomas Massey spoke out against this bill. Shout out to him. Regardless of whatever side you are politically, it doesn't fucking matter. Just, we got to support people who do that. AOC, again, as we discovered yesterday, is very against ID age verification. Shout out to her. Anybody who is against these laws, they're good in my book. So this organization, Redacted News, said the House just passed the Kids Act sold as a way to protect children online. In reality, it forces de facto age verification checks on everyone and opens the door to expanded online surveillance across all major platforms. Z Media warns this is a technocracy-led rollout of digital ID in the United States with mandatory age verification and tighter account controls. Big tech would harvest real-time infinite user data, and the government would get a backdoor into all of it, turning Orwell's 1984 from fiction to reality in America. So let's give this a watch. Sounds like these guys are smart. Hopefully, and this is what I'm noticing is becoming a pattern, hopefully they don't get into other political shit. Hopefully, let's just talk about the Kids Act. But yeah, let's give this a watch.
The House overwhelmingly
Let me know how the volume is, guys.
passed legislation last night designed to provide greater protections to children online, or that's how they're selling it. A number of members of Congress who voted against this, including Congressman Thomas Massey, who was warning about it, but it overwhelmingly passed the House because who would want to vote against protecting children, right? It's brilliant language, but of course that's not.
I hope during this video he also points out that Meta has been proven to have been paying and lobbying politicians in favor of ID age verification. Hopefully he mentions that because that is a fact. Meta is full of shit. They are the shadiest social media company out there, bar none.
What this is at all. This is about tracking, surveillance, and further control. Now it heads to the Senate and then possibly to the president's desk, where he probably will likely sign it with his friends who are deeply involved in the technocracy of the United States. Can you explain to our audience, and hopefully...
Yes, I agree with that. It has been proven pretty obvious through the statements through the White House that Trump would likely sign this into law if it reaches his desk. So I don't know where some people are getting the idea that Trump is against ID age verification, but from what I can see, it looks like he is actually for it, which is very, very unfortunate. Thank you for the $2, Ryan. Appreciate it. Thank you. Finally, someone with common sense. Yes, agreed. Shout out to these guys.
Now, this is an opportunity for people to call their senators, because that's where this thing heads next, and say, I don't want this, and vote against the Kids Act. I know politically they can run television ads saying, Senator Johnson voted against the kids, the Save Our Children Act. Does he not like children? Can you?
True. Yeah. That's how they're going to frame it. They have already been running ads about the Kids Act. I've seen them, and I think we actually went over a few either yesterday or in another video. So they frame it as, this law is protecting children. Make sure to vote for this law to protect children. you know? And it's just like, man, they fucking really left out the whole part about everybody having to submit an ID.
Can you explain? That's what they do. It's
Yes.
beautiful, brilliant language. It's like the Clean Air Act, whenever under President George W. Bush, and it really had nothing to do with clean air at all. But anyway, can you explain to our audience what this does in its tools and how it actually takes effect?
Yes, absolutely. So Reclaim the Net has a really fantastic article on this. I highly recommend that as a source for...
Okay, if I'm reading my accents correctly, she's Australian, meaning she has already experienced the Australia social media ban. So, yeah.
people when tracking Technocracy. Basically, this Kids Act stitches together more than a dozen separate bills, including COSA, which is the Kids Online Safety Act, which is actually a much worse bill, the Screen Act, the Safe Bots Act, COPPA 2.0, and the Spy Kids Act, plus data broker rules and research initiatives. Now, they actually rushed it to the floor under suspension of the rules, a fast-track path requiring two-thirds majority, and basically what they're saying that they've included protections that won't mandate age verification onto platforms. They say that it's only...
How? How is that even possible? How, like, their whole basis of the plan, and they're obviously the politicians are trying to bullshit us, the whole basis of their plan is ID age verification, is AI facial scans. So the only way you can protect kids online without all that stuff would be to just use those parental controls that almost every single website has anyways. So yeah, I mean, those politicians are obviously fucking lying.
Only for platforms with obscene content, but of course the way that they word these bills, and I swear it's like Satan himself writes these bills,
yes, okay, I like her. That was funny.
Affords so many loopholes and ways to later amend the legislation or say, no, actually, this is what we meant here, because they keep talking about commercially available methods of identifying people or, checking whether someone's a child or not. What it includes in the bill is basically that a platform is forbidden from ignoring a user's age, yet liable the moment it should have known someone was a minor.
Yes, so what the laws are proposing is that every single infraction or violation of a social media website incorrectly identifying a kid's age or whatever, right? They would get, like, let's use an example, like Facebook. They would get fined like $3,000 per infraction. So we're talking about potentially millions, if not billions of dollars that these social media companies would get fined if they don't enact ID age verification. But the thing is, using Facebook as an example, some of the companies themselves are for it. Meta specifically has lobbied for ID age verification laws in the Senate, in the House of Representatives. The people who voted yesterday, some of them were paid by Meta. It's just a fact.
Right, so it's going to, it basically, the law creates a requirement so that platforms can protect themselves legally to start checking ages and deploying age estimation or verification tools. So while it claims that it's protecting from age verification, it actually, in a way, mandates that companies do it because they are legally liable if they, quote unquote, should have known that someone was a minor using their platforms. They say it's for obscene content. But there are, three conditions that basically it has to meet for that obscene content. Like, for example, more than 1/3 of the material needs to be, quote, sexually harmful.
Okay, I'm so glad she brought this up. So if you heard what she said, the law is making it so any website that has, quote, 1/3 of their content being deemed harmful, so that could be sexual content, violent content, whatever, they have to have ID age verification. Hello? Isn't that like every website? Isn't that like every social media? I mean, if there's one website I know about, as you guys know, is YouTube. Fucking YouTube has so much nudity and violence, and sometimes both, on this website. Dude, there's nudity ads on YouTube. So with that logic, literally every single social media, video sharing website, Twitter, anything, will have ID age verification, because when you use the word harmful, that's a pretty vague way to put it. Harmful could be a lot of things, right? I mean, keep in mind, right? A lot of fucking boomers think that video games are harmful. They think that playing GTA is harmful. So with that logic, if there's going to be a nuanced interpretation of the word harmful, that could literally mean every single website in the world. And that's what they want. They want every single website in the world to have ID age verification. Insanity.
To minors, but you know, who's gonna say that it's sexual material harmful to minors? Like, is it just a girl in a bikini? Is that going to be considered? Would then would then X be considered one of those platforms? Is this now going to apply to X?
Right.
It also is, you know, that it's publicly.
This is the first time I've seen her before, by the way, Maria Z, but she is spitting right now. Shout out to her. She's making the perfect points.
Accessible, but that's basically every platform, and where the provider knowingly makes such material available, which is all of these social media platforms. So it's very.
Thank you so much for the 10 GG. Really appreciate it. Still waiting for Yuma Musumi. It's so funny. You always donate and say that, but I have no idea what that is. I don't know if I'm just old or something. I don't know what that means. But thank you so much, GG. I really appreciate the $10. I'm doing God's work. Nah, man. Thank you, Harpy. Well, you're giving me too much credit. I'm just a random guy with opinions, you know.
Broad on purpose.
It's an anime girl racing game. Okay. Thanks for letting me know.
And I just want to say, Clayton, there are many other laws that are actually even more explicit in their demands for age verification and age estimation that are coming down the pipeline, supported by both Democrats and Republicans. Elise Stefanik, MAGA sweetheart, basically, is pushing something similar at the federal level, far more egregious than the Kids Act. So, like I said, about 80 bills currently digital ID related in progress in America. This is really scary.
Yes, agreed, Maria. Shout out to you. You're smart. I totally agree with everything she said. She actually just told me some things that I didn't know, and maybe that you guys didn't know either. I didn't even know that there were more people pushing for federal ID age verification in the United States currently. Something even worse than the Kids Act. Because I've heard about it, but I didn't know like specific names of people doing it. But yeah, I mean, she made all the correct points. I mean, this is a pandemic. It went from an epidemic to a pandemic, right? And it is just insane that this just keeps going on. And that's why I wanted to do the stream today celebrating the Nebraska ID age verification law getting blocked, because any win against ID age verification is worth celebrating. Because look at this shit, man. This is bipartisan. Both sides of the political aisle are for this. And it's pretty scary, man. Why do people actively want to be watched? I think it's just parents and guardians that are too lazy to do their jobs. I think that's what it really comes down to. Last year we passed reforms. Okay. Is this about the Kids Act? No, it's not. Kids Act passed by the House penalizes willfully disregard of age. So the safe legal move is aggressive surveillance. Congress. Yep. You're right. You're right, Stephen. Not sure who you are, Stephen, but you're right, buddy. Seems parents can't do their job. Not to mention. Yep. Facts. Don't co-parent with Congress. Oh, that's a banger title for this article. I like that. Don't co-parent with Congress. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, Steven. You're right, man. Yeah, I love that. Don't co-parent with Congress. I might have to steal that. As the House considers the kids... Okay, I think I already tweeted this guy. I'm on the hunt right now for people to tweet at. I already tweeted at this guy. House realized that any preemption that undercuts parents for states will not pass. Will the Kids Act and other flaws we will work on Senate to fix? This was progress. Okay. Can't tell if they're for or against it. Thank you so much for everybody watching the stream. Really big thank you to everybody who has donated. Really appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. It means a lot. You know, you guys are the reason that I can keep doing these videos and streams, you know. Which, by the way, I am planning to stream a lot more, specifically around this time. So, yeah, appreciate everybody. Parents, it's not too hard. Set your child's Google account to their real age for once and set up Google Family Link in 2 minutes. Yeah, I mean, there's so many websites that have parental controls, Hunter. So, yeah. Yeah. That article title needs to be plastered on billboards everywhere. Yeah, I really like that. Don't co-parent with Congress. Damn. I'm not a savior, JR. Thank you so much, though. Thank you for the kind words. Kids Act is really about digital ID, not safety standards. Everyone paying attention knows that. You're right. Thank you, Classic Quarter, for the $25. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for covering this. I've been trying to for a while. Been busy with my art channel. I hope this bill fails. No user needs this. Love your channel. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's get some W's for him. Really appreciate you, Classic Quarter. Means a lot, man. Thank you. Yeah, they're right. Supreme Court rule. Okay, that's something about something else. Realistically, do you think the Kids Act will pass through Senate? Okay, from all the information I've gathered in the last 24 hours, I'm going to say no, but not necessarily for a good reason. I think it won't pass because the Senate wants an even stricter version of the Kids Act. So the bill will likely get rewritten or however that process works. Thank you for making these videos and streams. Thank you for watching 16 Cyborg. I really appreciate that. Releasing this day. Okay, no, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Okay, read this. We need to kill this bill. Stop the Kids Act. Bill is a full Trojan horse period. It's a federal surveillance and control system using children's safety as cover. Okay, true. The bill says 3 times it does not require age verification. That is a lie. Every single protection in the bill only triggers when a platform knows or should have known a user is a minor. That's very true. Let's go see some of the images that they provided. So the term know or knows means to know or should have known. So for the District of Columbia shall have constitutionally of this act, finding or determination of this act. Okay. So nothing in this subtitle may be construed to require the provider of a covered platform to implement an age gating or age verification functionality on the covered platform. Yeah. We already knew that. I didn't even know that they were trying to say that there isn't ID age verification here. Were these politicians trying to like bullshit us here? Of course there's ID age verification. How else are you going to be able to tell how old a kid is? What, you just guess? I mean, what the fuck? Like, they're bullshitting us right now. Okay. Age verification is age invasion and enslavement. Yeah, I mean, true. Parents need to know that the Kids Act treats you like a child too. The moment you hand over sensitive info, you're both at risk. Yeah. I mean, that's another misconception that I hear all the time where they're like, oh, at least it's just for the kids. Hello, how are they going to tell if you're a kid or not? That means that everybody has to provide ID age verification. That just might be your internet, Barack. It looks everything's good on my end. What's up, Super Sniper? We're just reading some stuff about ID age verification. Oh yeah, we already saw her tweet. So pathetic how the U.S. House claims to want to protect children with the Kids Act. It also, oh my God, never mind. I thought we found an ally here, but we're just, I don't even want to get into that. Kids Act passed the House with bipartisan support. Oh yeah, we already tweeted at her. Congress continues to build a digital prison. Okay, let's go, Tom. That's what I'm talking about, Tom. Last night, the GOP-led House betrayed its base yet again by passing Kids Act. This legislation is an absolute mess and will simply result in internet companies requiring... Yes! Yes, Tom! That's what I'm fucking talking about. Let's go, Tom. Actual goal of the lobby is directing Congress to pass garbage to force additional track and trace tech. People will end up being for... Yes, Tom! That's what I'm talking about. Facts. Well said. I like that. Okay, that's good. What's up, Luciano? Luciano? Sorry, I said your name wrong. Okay, House has passed Kids Act, framed as protecting children online. I'm trying to find more politicians that we can dunk on. Okay. How long are you going to do a stream for? I don't know. Maybe like another hour or so. I really have been enjoying these streams where we kind of just sit around and yap. I enjoyed chilling with you guys. It's been a lot of fun. So I'm going to try to do these more. Maybe like every other day. I'd love to shoot for every day, but you know, job, family, responsibilities, bills. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate it, Talon Richardson. I wonder what Congress people would do if this garbage passes and they have to submit their IDs. I mean, it's a good question, but I'm going to assume that they're willing to risk their information because by getting everybody else's information, they have a chance to make a lot of money by lobbying for the, or by Meta lobbying for these laws. I 100% believe that Meta is bribing politicians to vote for these laws. That's what I believe, and I'm sure a lot of you believe that as well, and we also proved that in a video as well. So it's kind of hard to not believe, but yeah, Meta has been proven several times to have been trying to fund ID age verification. Take care, Watch Wolfster. But yeah. If anyone can get an agreement through the oh yeah, we already read this guy's tweet. Of course, the Kids Act is about protecting actual kids. It's a massive surveillance bill. Who is this? Shannon Joy? That's what I'm talking about, Shannon. We should fight like hell to kill it. Could be introduced early as next week. Yes. I really want to see what's it called? The Senate's reaction to this. We all know Meta's the industry funding this. Well, that's the thing. We all don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. Every time I mention that, people are surprised. But yes, Meta is funding ID age verification. Co-parent with the government. Yeah, I also enjoy stepping on Legos barefoot at 3 a.m. True, true. All right. Live stream keeps going back to not live. Well, if that's the case, that is on YouTube. Everything looks okay on my end. No dropped frames, nothing. So this feels like you're guilty until proven innocent, but it's your kid until you're proven adult. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is 100% guilty until proven innocent in this case. They are enacting ID age verification, and they're forcing everyone to do it. So they are like, if you don't do it, you're already considered by default a child. Find it ironic that my dad is against age verification and he continues to use Facebook. Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, right? I mean, YouTube has age verification, yet we're all using it. So it's kind of like that argument is a little unfortunate because a lot of the biggest companies already have ID age verification. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for I believe that's Argentinian pesos, as I've been educated on. Guys signed? Yes. Thank you so much, Body for GD. Appreciate it. Really appreciate the donation. Okay. Going to vote for your opposition for the rest of your political career because you voted yes on yes. Who is this? Facts. Thank you so much for the $5 antagonistic. Really appreciate it. Got work tomorrow. Everyone keep fighting, quadruple our efforts, coordinate ourselves. Good night, everyone. Keep up hope. Good night, man. Thank you for tuning in, dude. And I appreciate the donation. One small W in the sea of L's. That's okay. Still worth celebrating the W, you know? If we're not going to celebrate the W's, what are we going to celebrate? You know what I mean? Who's this? Okay. Then it creates compliance pressure. Parent should parent. Yes. Yes, Marty. Talking about. Good to hear. Good to hear. W is a W. I take it like a champ. Exactly. This fucking guy, every time I see him, he's so annoying. He is one of the biggest, like, D writers for ID age verification. I mean, I already know he's getting ratioed like hell on this post. Yeah, he's like a rage baiter. Like, all he does is, like, try to piss people off. I mean, rage baiting is like a currency nowadays, especially on, like, Twitter. Because, you know, if you have a certain amount of verified followers, you can be monetized on Twitter, meaning you can get paid for how much views and interaction your tweets get. So what happens is idiots like this will get enough followers, and then they will go ahead and rage bait people all day on Twitter, trying to piss them off. And the more people comment and tell them that he's an asshole, the more money he's making, you know? Twitter is so miserable. Agreed. I totally agree. I honestly hate Twitter now, but I have to use it because it's the fastest way to get news, you know what I mean? But yeah, I hate what Twitter has become. I mean, Twitter was never like the most positive place in the world or anything, but it was so much. It's so much worse now with all these rage baiters and all this AI and all these, you know, OnlyFans girls and even OnlyFans guys as well. Like, I mean, yeah, Twitter is fucking just infested with like bots now as well. But hey. At least, so this is Net Choice's statement on the House passing the Kids Act. Let's take a look. Let's call it Today, the House passed the Kids under suspension of the rules 14 bill. Kids Act treats legal speech as inherently harmful to children, and bipartisan support does not cure the constitutional defect. Yep, agreed. Mastodon and Blue Sky are also pretty shit. Yeah, I'm sure they are. I've never used Mastodon my entire life. Thank you so much for the $10, Andrew. Appreciate it. I'm wondering if you're single. I'm also donating $10 to show my support. Appreciate it, Andrew. I try my best not to answer personal questions, but to answer your question, I'm ugly. So, who would love a face like mine? You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you for the 10, Andrew. Really appreciate it. Fails to meaningfully preempt the growing patchwork of state regulations, leaving platforms exposed to divergent and politically motivated enforcement even as they work to satisfy new federal mandates. Is bro trying to hit? Andrew, you trying to hit, man? Come on. Appreciate you for the 10, though. Other provisions interfere directly. Our analysis of the Kids Act, a bill on the House floor today that would put the government in control of how online speech. Yes, Caroline. All right, good. That's what I like to hear. Not ugly, you're beautiful. Everyone is in different ways. Nah, if I turned my face cam on right now, you guys' eyeballs would bleed from how ugly I am. Kids Act legally cannot become law. I mean, I hope not. All right, well. Need to stop our politicians now. They're using protecting children as a justification to push. All right, yep, you're right, Joshua. Stay young, beautiful, and unique. Sabao. Thank you, Blue. Pretty sure you're cute. Deep humor? Nah, I'm ugly. I'll use their politician's face if they request age verification. You know, that would be funny. But I believe that's illegal. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. Thanks, Darby. No more clicking. I'm 18. Illinois for U.S. House of Representatives sits down to discuss the House pass. Okay, yeah, let's hear this shit. We already know that we're about to hear some stupidity, but let's just give it a listen.
This is an important bill because we've fought this question and this topic at the state level. In fact, we even saw this question go up to the Supreme Court last year with Texas.
And you know what the question is? Can we harvest everyone's biometric data without them stopping us? That's what the question is.
And the Supreme Court sided with Texas, saying, yes, we need identification before you enter these kinds of sites. This is different. This would force that standard on all 50 states.
Right. Well, it basically gives the states a foundation, you know, to build on. And yes, Texas law is very similar to the Screen Act, and there have been other states that have passed something similar. And no generation previous has the children had the access to this kind of filth. It's very soul damaging. The average age that children...
You know, I do find that sentiment funny. I think you guys might disagree with me on this one, but in my opinion, the internet actually was way worse before than it is now. When I was growing up, the internet was just fucking vile. I saw the worst things I've ever seen on the internet. Like, because there was any type of restrictions or parental controls or anything, right? Maybe there's more overall bad material on the internet now in terms of volume, but I feel like the internet was way more unhinged back in the day. What do you guys think? You guys agree or disagree? Type of 1 if you think the internet was more unhinged and worse back in the day. Type of 2 if you think it's worse now. I'd love to get some debate on this one. No, it wasn't inappropriate, Andrew. We were just messing with you. What do you guys think? Okay, sounds like more ones. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go into detail on some of the stuff I've seen on the internet back in the day, but I mean, there were freely just videos of like the most vile shit ever on the internet back in the day. But for now it's like a lot of that stuff can get censored and you won't be able to see it and everything is blurred out and stuff. Holy shit, it was insane. So much more unhinged. Okay, yeah, seems like you guys agree.
Access it is 11. 80% of American children...
I don't know if me born in 2009 can answer that. Yeah, you're too young. I'm talking about people who were a little older who remember how the internet was back in the day, because it used to be crazy.
By the time they're 17, have
Thank you, 2D.
access this. And I know parents are doing their best to protect children.
No, they're not. No, they're not. What's your name? Let me get a reminder of your name. Mary. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No, they are not. They are not doing their best to protect children. If parents were doing their best to protect children, you guys would not even be able to go ahead and present these stupid ass laws. Because if they were doing their best, they would use the parental controls on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, fucking Snapchat, everything. Everything already has parental controls, but they don't use them because they don't give a crap. And that's the problem. So don't say that shit, Mary. You're absolutely wrong on that. Thank you for the $5, Ryan. Appreciate it. Yeah, the grocery stores used to have adult magazines in the checkout aisles before the internet was even popular. Yeah, but that's true. Yeah, that I don't think I've seen that at grocery stores nowadays. But thank you for the $5, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Right. But with just a few clicks of a button, they can access this. And these pornography companies know it. They are looking for future.
Mary got paid by Meta. Yeah, I would not doubt that at all. It sounds about right.
Customers, basically, that's what it is. And like you said, there are many other things that our children can't access: alcohol, tobacco, gambling, firearms.
Gambling? Did you really bring up gambling when there's a steak ad for every single sports event? There's Polymarket ads for every single live event ever. Kids can't access gambling? Oh, okay.
Kind of adult entertainment. You know, you can't access that without proving that you're 18. So this is very common sense.
What's difficult about
Thank
this
you, NPC.
conversation is that when you talk about firearms and cigarettes, those
Roblox has gambling. Yeah, a lot of games that are designed for children do have an aspect of gambling. With her logic, literally have ID age verification on everything. Fucking Mary, you don't know what you're saying. She hasn't said anything smart.
are physical, tangible things. And in this case, we're conflating it with general access to the internet. So that becomes a very quickly difficult topic because, yes, you can ban sites. I think most people are in favor of that.
Oh, what? Most people are in favor of banning sites. Who the fuck is this person on the left, dude? Who are you? Dude, what are you talking about? Most people are in favor of banning sites. In what world? She didn't even say social media. She said sites, as in any website on the internet. What the fuck are you talking about? Thank you so much for another $2, Ryan. Really appreciate it. And really, I'm talking about before the 80s. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ryan. I really appreciate it. You guys don't have to donate. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, she just said, and I quote, most people would be in favor of banning sites. Let's make sure I heard that correctly.
Because, yes, you can ban sites. I think most people are in favor of that.
What? I don't know, man.
But you read, I pulled down some resistance to this. And, you know, they're saying this is a surveillance and censorship act. This is going to actually spill over into all kinds of other areas.
It already has. It's not going to, it already has. This all started in 2023, the modern push of ID age verification. All started in 2023 when the UK banned adult websites for kids. And what is it turned into now in 2026? ID age verification to breathe, to tie your shoes, to say hello to your mother. You have to provide an ID. So it already has spilled over. It is a slippery slope, you know?
Where people...
But I'm so curious to hear Mary's response. Oh my God, there's only 6 seconds left in the video. I wanted to hear what she was going to say.
Will now have to provide their identification into databases that might invade their privacies.
No, dude, we got blue balled, man. Okay, I might have to look this up. Fine point with Chanel Rion. Okay. Fine point with Chanel Rion. And then what's this lady's name again? I already forgot, guys. Mary Miller. Okay. I don't know if this will be the right one. Commissioner Miller. I don't want to watch something on fucking Facebook, dude. Yeah, this is not it. Damn it. I really wanted to see that full clip. Fuck. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, well, I'm gonna assume she's gonna say some dumbass shit like, oh, you know, that's just a price that we have to pay to, you know, protect children or whatever. I don't know. I would have loved to hear what she had to say. YouTube web page just crashed vibe coded much? Oh yeah, YouTube is having more bugs than ever before. So I would not be surprised. The only thing they're protecting is their wallets. Yeah, that's true. How is America a free country when you have same restrictions as China would do in its own citizens? We just admit we're not a free country anymore. Oh yeah, I mean, if we're enacting ID age verification, we're not a free country. I know it sounds dramatic, but I mean, it's true. The internet is one of the most quintessential resources for anybody to use to find information, to communicate with people. And now all of that is being jeopardized to what? So they can harvest our IDs, you know? I don't know. It's not dramatic as well. Yeah, you know. I mean, I'm just speaking as if somebody who was for ID age verification was listening, you know? They'd be like, you're being dramatic. And it's just like, of course you fucking say that. You want to harvest everyone's data. This Twitter account, man, specifically. Like, if you want to look at a Twitter account that says some of the dumbest shit in the world, it's right over here, House Commerce. They're really pushing the Kids Act hard. It's supposed to be separated from Britain, not just be just like them and their flaws. Oh yeah, we are 100% taking into account what they're doing over there. I'm very much in favor of parents blacklisting sites on their own home servers. Yes, I agree. And it's also very easy to do that. A lot of people act like that's hard, to block certain websites on your router or to block websites on your browser. It's really not. Just Google how to stop, you know, you could literally just Google how to stop my kids from going to certain websites, and it'll give you step by step exactly what you need to do. If this was 1980 or 1998 or something, right, where the internet is more newer and people are just now trying to figure out how things work, and then parents have trouble blocking websites, that makes sense. But we're in the big 2026, man. You can Google something and you would get immediately a step-by-step instructions on exactly how to do it. You don't even have to be tech savvy, you know? It's something very easy that anybody can do. Congress is rushing to pass the Kids Act to expand the surveillance under the guise of protecting kids, identity checks to use the internet. Yep. Agreed. Agreed, Derek. The House Kids Online Safety Act would take away states' ability to protect our kids. Oh, okay. Oh, every single time I think we found an ally, we don't. Fortunately, so many people know how to write, but apparently they don't know how to read. True. Very true. Congress is rushing the Kids Act. Oh yeah, no, this person's also calling for a stricter one. So many step-by-step how-to videos. Yeah, exactly. And that's why the Nebraska social media ban is worth celebrating. Because at least certain states are getting held accountable for these bullshit-ass laws. So the House bill hasn't been blocked? No. This is not about, the title is not about the House bill. The title is about the Nebraska bill. If it was about the House bill, I would have said Kids Act got blocked. But no, that hasn't happened. Hopefully it will. Hopefully the Senate will not pass the law. But, yeah. Feels like we can't trust these news anymore for supporting age verification bullcrap. Agreed. Agreed. Thank you so much for the $10, Karma Monkey. Appreciate it. Doing a bit of research, you can use privacy credit cards as a way. Possible workarounds against breaches and need subpoenas to get your info. Yeah, credit cards are definitely the safer way to do it, you know, as opposed to AI facial scans or IDs. But, I mean, it's still some form of information of yours, which is the issue. You know what I mean? And even the idea, even let's say it was something non-invasive. I don't know. I can't even think of an example. But let's say it was some non-invasive information of yours, right? The fact that we even have to provide physical documentation to use websites and social media is already a Trojan horse for very, very bad things to come. We should not have to provide any type of, you know, information to use a website other than a fucking username and a password, you know? Obviously, if you're making money off the website like YouTube and stuff, then you have to provide documentation for reasons in terms of like tax documents and stuff, obviously, but just to tweet some stuff out or just to use Instagram, yeah, it's just insane. Yeah. Thank you, Darby. Ah, man. Well, hey, we should still take our W while we got it, man. I mean, Nebraska did ban, or Nebraska's ID age verification did get blocked. You do give your info to privacy, but allowed to fake info for the card. Completely allowed, 100%. Okay, good to know. Thank you for another 5, Karma Monkey. You guys don't have to donate, but I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed as well. Make sure you guys subscribe with notifications on so you guys don't miss future streams. Make sure you don't miss future videos as well. Thank you, Brick Lover. Appreciate that. It's so funny because I don't even consider myself news or a journalist or whatever. I'm too stupid for all that. I just make videos on what things I care about, Thank you, Fofus. Really appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much for the $22 classic quarter. Really appreciate it. Keep up the super topic, fellow creator. Keep strong. I hope so don't pass because the net already has our info on YouTube. Keep up the super work. Thank you so much, dude. Really, really appreciate it. Been watching you since January 2026, by the way. Love the channel. Thank you, your 5GUW. Really appreciate it, dude. The internet is great because it gives everyone a voice. Unfortunately, the internet gives everyone a voice. I know exactly what you mean, homie. You're right, man. The dumbest people in the world have the most to say. That is something that you'll notice is a constant in life. And that's why I always talk so much, because I'm also stupid. But yeah, just all these people that you see that are in favor of ID age verification, just remember that it's the dumbest people that always have the most to say. Basically, you have to have an ID to enter a store right now. Yeah, you have to have an ID to work and use the internet, dude. If you want a state to where this isn't happening yet, Washington is one. Yeah, according to the graphs, you're right. Washington failed bills. Yep, you're right. Well, good for them, but at the same time, I would imagine that it's only a matter of time before a bill gets introduced. So we can't rest until we get this out of every state and country. There are certain countries that are essentially already surveillance countries, like China, Russia, North Korea, where we're obviously not going to be able to stop this from happening. But those countries, unfortunately, for everybody outside of them, is already a lost cause. So there's nothing we can do about those. But, obviously countries like the United States, UK, UAE, all those types of countries, like there's definitely a lot we can do. We just have to not give up. No change, I guarantee it. You're right. Yeah, it will for sure. But again, we'll all be here to make sure that we can stop it. Let's try a different search. Let's try Kids Online Safety Act, KOSA. All right. Some of these people we've already tweeted at. Check to see if anyone replied to your tweets. I don't think so. Yeah, I can check for you. It would likely be listed in priority because the priority section is for people who have like more followers or whatever. I don't see any politicians in here. So likely not. The politicians don't really reply to people like that because most of them know that they're going to get dunked on. For sure that over 80% of the politicians are corrupt. I would argue closer to 100%, to be honest. I know it sounds cynical, but I mean, it's true. Give us your ID to blink, breathe, sleep, and eat. True. Twitter just made me do some BS verification thing because I use VPN. Oh yeah, and a lot of websites are very against VPNs as well. Sans is going to get him. He just said dunked on. Hey, shout out to Undertale, man. One of the best games ever made. Hit the like button just now. Thank you, AC. Appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. I forgot what tab we're on. I have so many tabs open. Okay. The file should be leaked. Why? why the fuck is it covered? It's being covered up. They know they're guilty. They'll be more guilty. Yeah. A lot of governments are, a lot of people from a lot of different governments are in the files too. What's up, Judy? How are you doing? We're just talking about the fact that Nebraska social media digital ID law got partially blocked, so it's worth celebrating. While the Kids Act may have passed, does not mean the battle is over yet. Oh, man. Bill must still pass the Senate, which will likely get stalled, including regarding age verification for adult websites that will likely remain. Can't tell if this person is for it or against it. And I think they're against it. Do not like age verification. Okay, yeah, I think they're against it. Rephrasing what I said, Apple accounts that have adult birth dates with credit cards on file for 6+ years have been verified as adults. Happened to me and 3 more friends. Oh, interesting. Yeah, sometimes that happens on YouTube and Discord as well when they use like their AI, whatever, to like determine that you have what they call valid account history to prove that you're over 18. But the fact that they're even going to be proposing the idea of ID age verification is crazy to me, you know. Kids Online Safety Act will destroy America. You know, some people would call that dramatic, but I agree. I mean, if it actually becomes a precedent for everybody to submit their ID to use social media, it is wild. NetChoice/NetChoice's only real L is being funded by Meta. I agree. Yeah. I mean, I'm in full support of NetChoice and everything that they do, except for the fact that for some reason they still are partnered with Meta. It makes zero sense. Again, it would be like partnering with, I don't know, it would be like partnering with Hitler to try to make world peace. You know what I mean? Like, it's so redundant. Like, why would you guys partner with the company that is lobbying for ID age verification? But other than that, I have to give NetChoice their credit. Obviously, they have been doing a really good job blocking a lot of these laws, filing these lawsuits and everything like that, you know? Hilariously true analogy. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, like the partnership doesn't make any sense. No, it's so weird. Guys, do not update your devices until you're safe from the laws. Yeah, some of the devices like auto update though over time, you know. Thank you, NCR Ranger. Appreciate it. Have a good night, dude. Freedom of speech doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, it definitely won't if these laws keep spreading, man. This is crazy. But other than that, what NetChoice is doing for us, making lawsuits against these laws, is a W overall. Agreed. Yeah, I think NetChoice is way more good than they are bad. Like, they're obviously a positive. They're obviously doing good by blocking these laws. It's just the partnership with Meta is very counterintuitive. That's good, Judy. Good on you for spreading the word. Partially saying it's not fully blocked in Nebraska. Yeah, it's currently partially blocked. They're trying to get it fully blocked. One judge ruled that like they're going to be blocking it because it violates the First Amendment. But hopefully they can get it permanently blocked. Again, any type of win against ID age verification is a big win in my book, you know. Please stop calling yourself a bad YouTuber because I think you have one of the best channels. Thank you, V11. I definitely don't have one of the best channels, but I appreciate the kind words. All right. Release the files, stop protecting the files. Agreed. That's a good tagline, Midnight. I like that. I do retweet on Twitter. I hope that is helping. I can do more, but I do retweet posts on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever you can do to spread the word, you know. People need to find your content. It is good stuff. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate that. Are you into politics? If so, what got you into them? I am not. I'm not into politics at all. Unfortunately, ID age verification coincides with politics, so I'm having to start to get into it. But I actually avoid political discussion in most shapes or forms because politics are very divisive. What annoys me is when people get divisive about online ID age verification, because it's just like, this should be something that we should all uniformly, be against, regardless of whatever side of the aisle you're on. I mean, earlier we read some dumbass's tweet where they're like, "Oh yeah, this is the Democrats' fault." Like, okay, first of all, like, there's literally more Republicans that voted for it, and secondly, stop fucking blaming one side or the other when anybody voting for this sucks. When anybody supporting these laws suck. So stop making it about one party or the other. We need to all unite against these laws, and stop fucking being so blindly loyal to your political party. Who gives it? You think politicians give a shit about you? I think it's baffling that people bend over for politicians as if politicians care. They don't give a shit about us. What we need to do is we need to fight for our own thing, and our own thing is stop ID age verification. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Obviously, you guys make your own opinion with all the information that you gather and your own resources, but I am just a random dumbass with some opinions, you know? But I feel very strongly about this because, you know, one thing that really unites everybody around the world is the internet. I mean, that's how you can, I mean, I've made so many of my best friends, you know, through the internet and through playing video games and chatting with them and stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, so you're going to take that away from everybody because there are parents and guardians out there that don't want to watch their kids, you know? I don't know. Betrayed the Constitution and the American people by voting yes on the Kids Act. And this person's spitting right now. Thank you to those who voted nay. And the unfortunate part about some of the people who voted no to this law is some of the people who voted no for this law made a tweet about it, and they said the reason they voted no is because they believe it wasn't strict enough. So they wanted even more invasive ID age verification laws. That's crazy, man. Thank you, Carlos. He's going back to contacting our senators. Is there like a script I can use when calling my senators? I'm not very good with words. I would just, I mean, everybody has their own methods. You know, I know there are other YouTubers who make videos about this stuff that have their own methods. But my opinion is you're talking to politicians, right? Politicians really only care about two things, money and power. So you have to try to take that away from them, right? So, I mean, you can be polite, but I would recommend saying something along the lines of like, hey, I don't support ID age verification because of these reasons. If you support this law, I will be voting for your competition, right? And I know that might seem a little combative, but at the end of the day, you need to threaten to take that power away from them. Give them an ultimatum. You know what I mean? I believe that's how the way to do it. Everyone will have their own methods, but that's how I have done it. I can't speak English anymore, and that's how I believe you guys should do it. You know? Because if you don't threaten to take the power away from these guys, then they're not gonna, like, there have been some some templates I've seen where people are like, yeah, the Kids Online Safety Act is bad because of this, this, and this. And yes, that's good to tell them that, but at the same time, you need to tell them what the consequences will be if they support these bills and vote for them. You know what I mean? If you give them some consequences, then they're gonna be like, oh shit, if I don't vote for it, or if I vote yes on this, I'm going to lose this person's vote. Oh, I'm going to lose this person's vote. Oh my God, I just got 20 emails saying I'm going to lose their votes. You know what I mean? So, yeah. ChatGPT must have ate their homework and told them to make the Kids Act while I was hallucinating. Yeah, it's funny you say that because we literally were on a guy's profile who was supporting the Kids Act earlier, and he made an entire graphic all AI generated. So... And AI is hand in hand with age verification anyways. It's called AI age verification in most cases anyways, right? YouTube, Discord, Roblox, all of them, they're all using AI age verification, not just like there's no human sitting there manually reviewing things, you know what I mean? Find the youngest politician that'll know the truth about this country and the Constitution. Okay, well, I can't wait to meet that 75-year-old. It'll be great. I'm joking, obviously, but the point I'm making is most politicians are ancient, and I don't know why that is the case. That needs to not be the case. I retired from video games because of age verification. I haven't played my PS5 in months. Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to retire from video games. Just use a VPN or whatnot. I mean, with PlayStation, it's rough though, because PlayStation is doing ID age verification, but I believe it's only in the UK right now for them. Let's make a book. The restricted device I paid $1,000 to lose my privacy because of the kids act. That is so crazy though. Imagine you save up money and then you buy a PS5 or whatever device you want. And then later, after you've already bought it and paid for it, there's a law that gets passed that says that you have to provide an ID to talk to your friends on that, you know? You already paid for it, you know what I mean? And now you have to do ID verification to use it. That's crazy. If I was a PlayStation owner, I would be pissed. Call me an optimist, but with the cat fighting in both houses about Kids Online Safety Act, the Senate killing almost anything the House ends up, honestly vice versa, and the August recess hurtling towards us, this will die. I hope you're right. Dodo Baggins is crazy, but yeah, I hope you're right. Will we ever get protest songs against this stuff? Real bangers, not slop? I don't know. I'm not musically inclined. Listen to my ugly ass voice. If I made a song singing about how bad IDH verification is, people would start voting for it. Just because I was so bad. Oh man, didn't they try to pass this last year and the year before? Yeah, they've been trying to pass these laws for a while, years now. But unfortunately, now more than ever, they are succeeding. What the hell? Oh my god. Thanks, Darby. I love your content and I like being informed about all this stuff. This is really concerning. Thank you, Aero Robotics. I really appreciate that. Boomers should be focused on the grave instead of staying in power. Oh my god. That's crazy. Good night, bye, Dee. Thank you for the donations, man. Everything is unnecessarily restricted for no apparent reason. If you know who's because of this, it's all because of the freaking kids. Well, it's also because the parents and guardians that don't want to raise their kids. You know what I mean? This in the US? Yes, this is in Nebraska, the state of Nebraska. Yeah, many kids, especially in Australia, as we discussed earlier, they're already circumventing the ID age verification laws in their country. This was the freaking AI slop thing that this guy made. It's crazy. This is the guy I was talking about earlier, where they're like, yeah, you know, we're doing all this, and he's so happy that this guy's passed, and then he uses AI to make some sort of slop image. Have you ever played Minecraft? Of course I have. I have a gaming channel, buddy. Check it out. DH Gaming, right over here. Play tons of Minecraft. I love Minecraft, man. All right. Nebraska's lucky right now. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, any law that gets blocked is always good. Didn't know you played Minecraft? Yeah, I got a gaming channel, DH Gaming. Check it out. I don't promote it much because I don't want to just keep shilling it, but you know, I try to upload at least like once a week or so on there, and I've done plenty of live streams there too. Specifically in Marvel Rivals, I did tons of Marvel Rivals live streams last year. Cool, you'll subscribe to it. Thank you, Cap. Appreciate it. Pretty much any old school game that you can think of, like the old Flash games we all used to play, I've likely played it on this channel. I did like this series called Games We Used to Play, and I played all these old Flash games that at least I used to play as a kid. So if you can think of a good Flash game you like, go check out the channel. I've likely played it. Got a unique Minecraft skin. I don't remember my Minecraft skin. It's been a while, but I think my Minecraft skin is Godzilla. But I think I might have changed it to Super Saiyan Goku. I haven't played in a while. So much Henry Stickmin. Henry Stickmin is goated, dude. Sans the skeleton will show ID verification a bad time. And shout out to Undertale, dude. I know there's a new chapter of Deltarune that came out. I have not kept up. I found the original Undertale so much more fun than Deltarune. But yeah. Which Super Saiyan form? Super Saiyan 1. But my favorite Super Saiyan form, if that's what you're asking, is Super Saiyan 2. No QWOP detected on the gaming channel? I don't think I've played QWOP. Actually, I'm pretty sure I did. Oh, damn, I didn't? That's crazy. Well, QWOP is a classic. That's actually how I found Critical. Started watching his videos. Because he made a QWOP video back in the day that blew up. Super Saiyan 2 is a classic. Yep. You know ball. Super Saiyan is probably my favorite Super Saiyan since it had the strongest narratives. Yeah, it was very well built up. The whole Namek saga built up the entire Super Saiyan transformation. Goku was going crazy, dude. Don't get me started on Dragon Ball, guys. This will turn into a Dragon Ball stream. Played Flash games as a kid. Those are the days. Yep, true. Well, this is the updated list. Love Super Saiyan 3? Yeah, it's just not a very useful form, especially nowadays. It takes too much energy. I loved Goku's fight against Janemba in Fusion Reborn. That was a great movie. What are your thoughts on Xenoverse 3? I'm excited. I can't wait to play it. In fact, I will likely be streaming that game. Once you get into Dragon Ball, it's very easy to get consumed into it. Yep, I love Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball for life. My favorite franchise, favorite show ever. Dragon Ball Z, man. I saw the theatrical release of Dragon Ball Daima as well. Hey, have you seen Drake and Josh? What's your favorite episode? Of course, yeah. That's actually my favorite episode too. Alex the Treehouse episode. Drake, where's the door? Yeah, Drake and Josh is a classic, dude. You've been learning to draw because of Dragon Ball? Yep. I remember kids back in my day when I went to school in 1923, kids were always drawing Super Saiyan Goku. And I would always try, but I have the artistic skills of a wet cucumber, so I wasn't able to do it. Where's the door handle? No, he straight up said, where's the door? Drake didn't cut out a hole for the door. And I drew it with magic marker. You're supposed to cut it with a power saw. Goku's my first ever crush. Dude, he's still my crush, dude. I got a man crush on him, dude. Sure, you'll learn how to draw Goku at some point. Yeah, I'll make sure I do that when I'm 70 years old, you know. Just keep trying to draw. It's a slow process. It's been taking me years once you get into a flow. Okay. Thank you, Chaos Attorney. I'll keep that in mind. Nothing wrong with the man crush? Agreed. Power levels. Yep. Please don't say that in the chat. Some random. What's up, Skybecker? Damn, we've already been going for 2 hours, man. I really have fun with you guys on these streams, man. These are a great time. I will try my best to stream more, even if I got nothing to talk about. You think Yamcha will ever get the respect he deserves? No, dude. People disrespect Yamcha, dude. If you actually, most Dragon Ball fans actually haven't watched the original Dragon Ball, but Yamcha was that guy in Dragon Ball, dude. Wolf Fang Fist went crazy, dude. People don't know about Yamcha, dude. Favorite character in Drake and Josh is Megan. You must have liked iCarly then. Should I watch Dragon Ball? Of course. It's the greatest show ever made. Really want to say something good for Yamcha? The Dragon Ball Super manga did something really good. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I am all caught up on the manga. All caught up on Diamond and everything. Need to get on the OG. There's too many other animes on the wait list. Nah, you gotta watch OG Dragon Ball, dude. I think Deep Humor might like Dragon Ball. Yeah, but just a little bit. It's so funny, like when people say, like, "Oh, I didn't even know you were a fan of Dragon Ball." I was like, "Dude, you must not have. You must not watch the videos." I will make a Dragon Ball reference at least every few videos or so. Do you have any powers? Yeah, I have the power of being very ugly and annoying. That's my superpower. All right. Well, we have. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that. We're reaching the end here. Appreciate everybody for the donations. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much to everybody who liked and subscribed. You guys are absolutely awesome. Just for a little recap, Nebraska had an ID verification law blocked for social media. That's good. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for subscribing. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you guys subscribe and notifications on so you guys don't miss the next video or stream. Currently have no videos planned for tomorrow, but maybe I'll find something to upload. But yeah, I appreciate all of you guys. Love every single one of you guys. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great night, guys. Bye-bye.